What's happening, y'all? Where my music at? Where's my music?
I can't find any way.
Ain't it?
I can't find any. I can't find.
Yo, you're not ready for September.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the Barber Mosaic. I am Maurice, and man, I sit before you today. Um, it's a tough day. What's going on, brother? Tough day in Tiger Town. You know what I'm saying? As my Wilson Tigers lost a very tough one in the lower state last night against a very good North Augusta basketball team. Notice a lot you could say about the game, a lot you could say about the kids, man. But you know, for me at this moment, it's pretty much a celebration of some of the young people, man, that have given so much to our community on and off the court. You talk about the seniors that we have on this year's team. You talk about you know Cam Muldrow, excellent kid. Man, been knowing him for since he was a young man. You talk about Elijah and all that he's done for the program, and of course Tristan Thompson, man, Tree, come on, man, stop playing, and seeing those guys on the court for the last time in high school, it was definitely bittersweet. It was bitter because we didn't get the outcome that we wanted. The goal wasn't reached, but it's sweet because these are three kids that have amazing futures ahead of them, and you know that because the parents, the way they were raised, who they are and how they are in the community, so you know that they're going to be successful at the next leg of their journey. But it was a tough loss to watch, man. And of course, the first thing you do is you get on social media and you see what should have happened, what the coach should have did, what the kids should have did. You see all of that, and one of the easiest things in the world to do is to talk about what should have happened after what happened has already taken place. Like, that's the easiest thing to do. And we live in a time now where the armchair quarterback, even me, I ain't gonna lie, I'm guilty of it too. I ain't just throwing stones at nobody. I'm guilty of it too. There's always something that that could be done better, and that's the reason why you have a lot of these conversations going, a lot of the chatter going on, right? Um, for me, because I'm no expert, but what I saw was a North Augusta team that was very afraid of what Josh Leonard could do with the ball. So they pretty much placed a 4-man box around him, and they just denied him the ball in the interior. And they dared one of the best 3-point shooting teams in the state to beat them with the outside shot. And it just so happened, man, it was one of the coldest nights that the Tigers have had this season. I mean, if you approach them with that game plan any other night, if you approach the Tigers with that game plan, we're gonna take away one guy and make the other four beat us. You get whooped any other night. But it was a tremendous gamble by North Augusta's coach. It was a tremendous gamble. It was one that paid off. He bet, hey, tonight they're gonna shoot cold. If they're gonna bust this zone up, or they're gonna shoot the ball cold, and we're gonna build a lead. And that's what they did. And once they built the lead, even though there were some, Christian Bruce came in. Well, that came here. He started the game, but Christian Bruce hit a couple big threes, and I thought, okay, they're gonna bust that zone. But when some of the other guys weren't able to knock down those open shots. Because a lot of those shots were wide open, man. I mean, they sagged back. I felt disrespected. You gonna sag back on Isaiah? You gonna sag back on Tree? Are you kidding me? My boy about to shoot the lights out. But that's just not, bro. Sometimes the basketball gods are good to someone else. Sometimes the basketball gods shine on someone else, and that is pretty much the story of the game. Now, could there have been adjustments made? Of course, of course. But this is us watching in hindsight. Of course, there's always adjustments to be made. I don't care if you can win a game and watch the film and see and pick something that somebody could have done better. Like that's just sports. That's just what this is, right? But the beautiful thing is, you know, the three great seniors that we've had leading this team over the last few years. You know, we still got a really young group, young group of good kids. This is their first year with a new coach, the first year in this system, first year offensively, first year defensively, and it's gonna get better. And I really feel like we'll be back. I really do. But that brings me to, because okay, so I'm in the South Carolina High School League, right? This Facebook group, and it's a really good group. It goes down in there. We do a lot of talking, a lot of going back and forth, and there's representation in this group from all over the state. I don't care if it's, you know, way high in the upstate or deep down in the low country. From 1A all the way to 5A, and skeezer and all, like we all talking basketball. And the topic came up. One of the guys brought up a topic: who is the best player in the state right now? Who's the best player in the state? And for me personally, haven't had an opportunity to watch most of the players around the state, because you might have some people say, well, how can you can't watch all these guys unless you go to every game, and I know that to be untrue, because bro, you follow the AAU circuit and you can see all of these guys, the better players in the state. You can see many of them compete against each other, and for me, with what I've seen so far, I do believe in my heart of hearts that Josh Leonard is the best player in the state. I really do. I think that's just, and to me, I don't even feel like it's nothing to debate about. I feel like there's nothing to even discuss. I feel like Josh Leonard is the best player in the state. That's just my opinion. Like I said, I'm no expert. But that's my opinion. That's what, if I had to, that's what I feel. And I've seen the Corbett kid out of Ridgeview. I've seen Baba last night. Of course, I watched Jordan Watford over the years, coming out of Lancaster, South Carolina, a phenomenal player, right? But I don't think any of them commands the attention from a coaching perspective that Josh Leonard does. Like I just, bro, dude is a weapon. I think he had 15 last night, covered, flanked by 4 people the entire game. They were there, bro. What he had to do to score the ball in the fashion that he did, it was crazy. There was defenders hanging on him, hanging off him, and he was still, you know, able to affect the game. And when you have a player like that, you know, you can do what Wilson has done all year long, which is, okay, you want to key in and focus? I'm gonna kick out in the open guy. Isaiah, knock it down. Bang, he been doing it. Freshman knocking it down. I think Isaiah, as a freshman, I think he might have led the region in 3-point shooting. Right? He might have led the region in 3-point shooting as a freshman. Christian Bruce can shoot the 3. Tree has really worked on that 3-point shot over the last couple of years, and it's more often than not, it's automatic. More often than not. So, what's up, Adriel? So, it's just a bad time to have a cold night shooting, and I think that's what made the difference and worked against the Tigers. So, but back to the number one player, and I got a bone to pick about the whole best player in the state thing, and just the way that the PD is looked at around the state, because I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. Um, I've always felt like the best athletes in the state come from around this area. I've always felt that way, and it's gonna be funny when I tell you, how I came to that conclusion. But I've always felt like the best. Now, the PD doesn't have the most of the best athletes. They don't have the most, but the ceiling, the PD ceiling is so much better than the rest of the state, and we feel low broed, we feel disrespected. We feel like the low country don't respect us. We feel like the Midlands don't really respect us. We feel like the upstate don't really respect us. And the crazy thing about it is we're not respected around the country, right? South Carolina is not respected around the country in terms of top tier basketball because we do not rally around that guy and support that guy. And conversations like the one we're having when we talk about who's the best player in the state is one of those things. Because for me, it's clear who the best player in the state is. It's very clear. The same way it was clear a few years back when Gigi Jackson was at Ridgeview. And see, one of the beautiful things about being in the PD area is I'm kind of central to all these locations, so it don't take much for me to get to Columbia to a Ridgeview game. As a matter of fact, the coach that everybody talking shit about right now, Coach English over at Wilson, I remember when he brought Gigi down here to play in the PD All-Star game, like a PD against Columbia All-Star game. And Gigi came down here and put on the show, did an interview for some of the local sports rags here in Florence. You know what I'm saying? Put on an absolute show, a clinic. And what he did was he kind of showed a lot of the kids in the area what it looks like to be good enough to turn down a offer from to be so good you can turn down an offer from UNC. Now I'm good. I'm a do this, right? And we rally around that because what we want to see is South Carolina be respected around the country. That's what we want to see. We want to see South Carolina be respected around the country as a basketball power. And it just seems like if you're not from Columbia, if you're not from the upstate, you just don't get the respect that you deserve. And it's crazy because, and you may disagree with what I'm saying, but the proof in what I'm saying, the actual proof in what I'm saying is, why did nobody talk about Ja Morant? Nobody outside of this area knew about Ja Morant. Why nobody? People don't even know that Zion Williamson is a Florence native. They don't even know that. People don't know that. Eric Bennett says we're not respected as a state because we don't rally behind that guy. Exactly. But we do it though. In Florence, we'll do it. In Florence, if a dude in Columbia is great, bro, and those of you that know me know, I go to the games. I'm on the AAU circuit. When there's a kid in, bro, I'll drive to Anderson. I will drive to Greenville. I will drive to Spartanburg. When Yannick Smith was at Somerville and Charleston, I went to Somerville. I went down there. But we've got a kid here in Florence that's, depending on which poll you look at, he's ranked from 5th to 16th in the nation in the class of 2027. And you go to a Wilson game, nobody from Columbia is here. Nobody from Charleston is there. Nobody from Spartanburg is there, right? And I don't like that. I think that's whack. And then you have these conversations with people, and instead of saying, yeah, this dude is the clear-cut best player in the state, you would rather talk about a kid that's not on that level. Because I guess it felt so good having, whoever name, put any player there. It felt so good having that kid that you want to create another one, but you can't create those guys. You can't create a top prospect with stories and talking and saying that because I know him because he goes to the high school that I went to. He grew up around my neighborhood. He's the best. That's not how you create that. You can't create that. It has to come from the kid. It comes from the kid. And when you look at you know what Josh has been able to do, um, it's mind blowing. It's mind blowing, and he's head and shoulders above most of the competition in the state. He really is. That's just a fact. Well, that's my objective opinion. He's just head and shoulders above everybody else. And those conversations, man, they is because when you bring up a fact, then you look like a hater. When somebody says, "No, this kid right here that goes to insert whatever school, insert whatever kid, he's the best player in the state," and you're like, "Well, is he top 100? Is he top 25? Is he top 20? Is he top 10 kid?" No, he's so you go look at the rank. You go, okay, so you talking about this kid? Oh, let me go check the kid. So you go look at it, and you see out of 200,000 high school juniors, he's ranked 450. But then you got another kid right here that out of 200,000 high school sophomores, he ranked number 5. So you tell me, you tell me, buddy, you're coaching a team right now. Who would you rather have on your team? The 5th or the 16th ranked sophomore in the country, or the 400th ranked senior in the country? Which one would you rather have on your team right now? And it's because they're trying to disrespect us. And I want, bro, I want the PD kids. I want the PD kids to catch this message, bro. They don't respect how great a lot of y'all are. They don't respect it, bro. They really don't. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna be real with you. I'm gonna be real with you. The way I learned about the athletic ability of people here in this area in the PD is I visited some of the finest correctional institutions in the state. I'm talking from Lee County. I'm talking from Allendale, Wateree, Trenton, Turbyville. Yes, I've stayed a time or two at some of the finest correctional institutions across the great state of South Carolina. And when I tell you, we had prison basketball leagues where players or teams would come from other prisons. I swear to God, they would come from other prisons. And when you hear the story about, man, that kid was real good, man, but he was in the car with a homeboy that robbed a liquor store, and they just locked everybody up, and he got 150 years, and he's in prison, and they're playing in the basketball leagues. First and foremost, these prison teams were so good that I didn't even make a couple of the teams. I didn't make it. That's how good and competitive these teams were. These teams were tough. These teams were physical. These teams were well coached. I swear to God, you may not believe me, but I swear to God, right? And there was always one dude that was either the strongest, the fastest, the toughest, the best. There was always one guy on all of those teams that was from somewhere around here. And we called that guy whatever he was from. I remember there was a dude from Dillon. We used to call him Dillon. He was just the strongest motherfucker I ever met in my life. He was from Dillon. I remember there was a guy that was from Timminsville. The only motherfucker I ever met in my life from Timminsville up to that point, until I moved here, was like the best player on our prison basketball team. Nigga was a dog. You might know him. I can't even remember his name. We used to call him Timminsville. We used to call him T-Ville. It was a dude from Florence. There was a dude from, bro, there was a dude from Hartsville. Cold. Nigga was absolutely cold. We used to call him H-Town. I don't even know his real name because there wasn't many of them. There was always like one or two, and that's kind of so. When I moved here, because I'm from Charleston. When I moved here from Charleston, when I moved here, I was like, damn, these kids good. All these kids strong, and the dads, they be forcing the kids to play, and it's real like niggas be coaching teams, and you look at a team, the coach is the son. The dad and the coach is the son, and like the involvement with the community and Wilson homecoming and South Florence going crazy and West Florence doing it, all this shit. Like, bro, this shit don't always happen. The shit that we got going on here in the PD is special, and I just hate how the other regions in South Carolina be hating on that shit. I don't like that. When we get one, when we get one, bro, the best kid coming out of the PD area is something. It's something. Like when we got one, we got one. But they don't like to show that respect. But we ain't like that with them. We ain't like that with them. When they got one, Gigi Jackson, we on the road. Let's go. We on the road. We gonna get some footage. We want to see. We want to support because we believe that we only can make it as far as our best can go. We only can make if we can support our best and push them. Look at what happened with Lenoris, bro. How long were we saying how good this man was? How many conversations were we having in the high school league group saying, look, bro, I'm telling you, this kid out of South Florence, he's crazy. Nah. Right? And those moments feel good. Yeah, they feel good. I told you so. I told you he was a dog. Those feel good, but fuck that. I don't want to keep doing that. I don't want to keep having the I told you so. I want people around the country to know that South Carolina, in terms of, what we put out, basketball, football, baseball, softball, what we put out is top tier, and it's something to be reckoned with. And colleges, y'all need to come here. Shouldn't nobody have to call you or use these connections and that connection to bring somebody here? Nah. Y'all should want to be here. Y'all should want to come see what we got and give these kids opportunities. You should come here ready. You should come here ready to give out scholarships, right? When you come to South Carolina, you should already know I'm setting a few offers to the side because I'm going to see some South Carolina talent. Like, that's how I want it to look. That's how I want it to look. Because guess what? When a college coach comes to see the star, guess who else he sees? Everybody else. He sees everybody else. And I ain't trying to start no civil war with Columbia or Greenville in the upstate or Charleston. I ain't trying to start no civil war. I'm just saying, bro, we got one. In the PD, we got one. And we got some more. Come here. And we got some more. Cause you could tell, bro. You could tell when you see it, you could tell. It's like, yeah, that's different right there. That's different. You could see it. And there's so much of that. There's so much of that here. What I'm saying is, we may not have, 20 at a time. But okay, let's go to Lake City. Let's go to Lake City, right? So we got Hannah Rouse playing today at 3 p.m. at the Florence Center. Andrew Jackson against Lake City High School. 2A girls, right? Y'all need to be there. Because Lake City got one. I believe she's an 8th grader. We got one. Y'all need to be there. Y'all need to support. You need to come through. I need to be there. Because we got one. Look at Amari Adams. We got one. We got one. Coming out of Lake City. The people I'm telling you, from Lake City, Pamplico, Johnsonville, Florence. Man, come on, man. We from South Carolina TV says John Morant is a perfect example. No business playing college ball. Yes. And that's the thing. That's the thing. I'm glad that you brought that up. We talked about John Morant and how there was no support. There was no support for him. We talk about Zion Williamson. People don't even know he's from Florence. But I'm telling you, the best talent that I've seen, because I've been all around this state. I'm probably one of the most well-versed people when it comes to South Carolina. And I say that not taking anything away from you, the scouts and the coaches and people like that have their knowledge because they're coming from that angle. But what I'm saying is I have a little bit of what y'all got from watching y'all and watching the game, but I also have another perspective. That many of you don't have. And that's because I've been to prison. I've been locked up. And I've sat down across from a kid that led the prison basketball league in scoring and was one of the best athletes I ever saw. And I asked him, like, bro, what happened? And he told me, man, I was hanging out with my friends, was with the wrong person. Dude robbed a liquor store, got in the car. I drove him down the street to his house. He shot the man in the liquor store, killed him, and now we all got 50 years. And I'm thinking, well, I mean, were you playing the way you play? Like how you, and that's what we do. Where I'm from in Hemingway, that's what we do. We hoop. I'm like, bro, where the fuck is Hemingway at? And why you the only nigga I ever met from Hemingway? You feel me? Yeah, I'm from Loris. What? Be dolls. Nigga, I'm from Lakeview. We used to call him Lakeview. We ain't know his name. We used to call him Lakeview. LV. That my nigga LV right there. On a weight bench. Throwing up everything. Bro, I remember, I swear to God, I'm gonna drop a name. I don't care. And if you hear this, reach out to me because I want you to verify the story. It's a nigga from Dillon or Lakeview, one of them two. We used to call him, I think we used to call him Dillon. The nigga name is Darvis Stackhouse. This is the strongest human I've ever met in my life. I swear to God. We was in prison. We was locked up. And they had the weight bench. And we was just like playing around. Little dude now. Was not huge. Wasn't cut up or nothing. Was just strong. This nigga, bro, we was putting shit on the bar. We were trying to hurt the man. Like we were, do this, then do this. And he was throwing that shit up. Nigga name is Darvis Stackhouse. Swear to God. Strongest nigga I ever met, pound for pound, in my life. Where you from? I'm from Dillon. Where the fuck is Dillon? Is what I'm thinking at the time. I'm from Charleston. I don't know no better. So we got the athletes, bro. We got the athletes. We got the, we just, bro, we got the athletes. We just need the exposure. And that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm trying to do with Game Flow, right? But I'm not going to make my effort at exposing, the world to the talent that these kids have. I'm not going to limit that and restrict that to just the Florence area. I'm gonna go where they at. I'm gonna go wherever. I went Anderson last year. Had to go check out Cutter Woods. I heard he was dope. I went there, proved it. Right. I'm going around wherever. I'm sending my guys. We're going wherever there's great talent at. We're going to get it because we want to highlight it because we want South Carolina to be lifted up. Right. So all we need is support. All the kids need is support. They got the talent already. All they need is your support. And you can start that. If you're in the area, come out today and see Hannah Rouse at 3 p.m. Come out today and see Andrew Jackson and Lake City in the lower state final. Come to the Florence Center. It's $15. Come check it out. And while you're at it, search up GameFlow website, gmflo.com. That's the website. We're going to be bringing, stories, articles, like anything we can do to promote and expose the rest of the country to all the talent that we have in South Carolina. But like I said, man, last night, Coach English, shout out to Coach English. That's my guy. Shout out to Coach English. Yeah, man, last night, it didn't go the way we wanted it to go, but it went. It went. And like I said, there's always an adjustment to be made after the game. But listen, that's the best time to say what should have happened is when the zero's on the clock. Well, you should have did this, you should have did that. Nah, what we should do is get back and make it back. And I'm very confident that's what we will do. Very confident that's what we will do. So shout out to the PD, of course. Shout out to the whole state of South Carolina, man. I'll be at the Civic Center, the Florence Center, today at 3:00. Checking out Hannah Rouse and the Lake City Lady Panthers as they take on Andrew Jackson. Come on out. If you see me out there, say what's up. I'm gonna show you some love back. You see me, you want to get a pic, you want to take a picture, you want me to take a picture, you let me know. I got you. Don't I ain't that ain't never no problem. Bro, shout out to Jen, to Janique Photos. Shout out to her. You know, Jen had the opportunity, opportunity that most of us here in South Carolina are salivating to have. She got a chance to be on the sideline as the South Carolina Gamecocks home game against Kentucky, and she took some amazing photos, and that's fire. And shout out to you, and the photography community here, as well as everybody else, should be very proud of the work that you're doing. Whether it's going to around to all of the schools and doing everything that you do, or if it's shooting big time Power 5 college sports. So shout out to you, and all the other photographers in the house, because we do our best, man. A lot of this, man, the money ain't great. Let me tell you, the money ain't great. The money is not great. But it's the love. The love is awesome. So I'm out. I got some hair to cut before I get to the Civic Center, man. Y'all hold it down, man. Mix it up in the comments, talk about it, and I'll see y'all next time. I'm out.